All right, for section 9.1 through 9.3, what we're working on is conversions. So, how do we convert in our system that we use and in the metric system? Okay, and what about if you're doing area? How do you convert units when you're in area? That's what this chapter is about. And 9.1, we're going to start with our units and we're looking at a little bit of the metric as well. Okay, so we can look through here our objectives, right? Use dimensional analysis to change to and from the metric. We're going to convert in the metric and we're going to convert in what we call imperial. That's what we use in America. So if you're not from America, the metric system is going to be super easy for you because that's what you're used to. And then this part might be a little bit harder. So let's look through some basic conversions. And you can look, I mean, you could Google conversions super easy and get the relationship between anything online. Try to avoid using any automatic calculators for yourself. So, because on the test, I'm going to make you show me your work and you don't, putting a number into a calculator isn't going to help you learn it. So let's look through here. 1 foot, right? It's about this long. And that is the same as having 12 inches. So if I have 12 inches, I have 1 foot. If I have 24 inches, then I have 2 foot. That kind of conversion there. That's the relationship between those. 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. Okay. 5,280 feet is equal to 1 mile. So we have a couple different conversions here. Let's go ahead and set up what I call a ratio or a proportion um, to solve these. The way that we're going to go is this first one, part A says, if I have 5 feet and I want to convert it to inches. So what I'm going to do is write 5 feet. Okay, use the little symbol for feet. And then I'm going to times that by the conversion. What I want is the relationship between feet and inches. So we have that up here, and we know there's 12 inches in 1 foot. And when you do the conversion, you want the feet to cancel. So the feet will go here, and your goal will go here, which is inches. So that the feet would cross cancel, you could think of this as over 1, but like you want the feet to cross cancel away. And then you just put in the relationship. There are 12 inches to 1 foot. And this is kind of a good way to set up every single conversion. It's like, okay, I'm half feet, and then I want the feet to be on the other one, and then I just write in whatever the relationship is that makes those equal. Okay. Then I just multiply straight across. I can see that my feet will cancel. 5 times 12 is 60. And I'm left with inches. So the answer is 60 inches. Could you have done that pretty? Yeah, I mean, some people would go, I just times it by 12. They can visualize that. Some people will mess up whether I times or I divide each time. So this is a set way that will always work. So B says, if I have 40 inches and I want to see how many feet that is. So what do I have first? I have 40 inches and I'm going to times that by, right? On the top, I would want my goal, which is feet. On the bottom, I want the inches. And there are 12 inches in 1 foot, right? So we still did that relationship. It's flipped, but that's okay. Now I can still see those inches are going to cancel, but I'm going to time straight across and I'm going to get 40 times 1 or 40, and then keep your feet. And then on the bottom, I'm going to have 12. Okay, and the inches canceled away. So I can reduce that fraction to get 10/3 feet. You could divide that and get the decimal. I think most of your answers will be decimal a couple places. So, or a fraction, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's convert a different one. What if I want to go inches to yards? And let's say I only have this information here. I'm not going to look up the relationship from inches to yards online. I want to know or use what I have. So what I can do is I can convert my inches to a foot. Okay. Then I can use that feet to get to yards. So I'm going to do two conversions on this one. So what do I have right now? I have 9 inches. And I would like to times that by um, my relationship between inches and feet. And inches is on the bottom. And we know there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, I could set this up right now with another one that would then have the feet, go ahead and write this, the feet disappearing, and my goal of yards here. Okay, and then we know there are 3 feet in 1 yard. Then we can go all the way across, and again, you can think of this as over 1 here, and you could go all the way across, canceling those units that can cancel, and then just times, or yeah, times the number. Okay, so I can see that feet cancel here, inches cancel here, and then I'm going to go 9 times 1 is 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, so I have 9 yards left on the top. On the bottom, I have no more conversions. 1 times 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, reduce that, and I get 1/4 of a yard. The yard can go with the 1 or outside. Uh, Either way, I think you have to click down a little arrow, so it'll probably be on the side for you. So see, I could do more than one conversion if I'm not given the relationship between some of them. You can just do a couple extra to get that relationship there. Okay, the last one here, D, before we look at metric, is what if I have 13,200 feet? How many miles is that? And this is a good one to know if you're looking at buying a house. They always give you your, well, they do it in square feet though. Yeah, so it's square feet, so that'll be a little bit different. We'll look at that. I was thinking, it's hard to visualize how much of your yard you're gonna have, but this is not a square foot. This is just feet in general. So this would be us running that distance. So if our watch told me I ran 13,200 feet, how many miles did I run? There we go. That's a better example. So I'm going to write down our 13,200 feet, and again, over 1, and then I'm going to times it by feet here. Goal is here, miles. And there was 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay, so then our feet will cancel, and we're going to times across, and I end up with 13,200 over 5,280, and now I just have miles left. I think MI is the conversion for miles. Um, let's see here. So 13,200 divided by 5,280 is 5/2 miles. That sounds weird, but that's okay. So what is that? 2.5 miles. So I just ran 2.5 miles if I ran 13,200 feet. Okay. All right. Those are basic conversions. So I should be able to give you a relationship between anything, and you can convert it using that method. So metric system. So some people had to memorize like King Harry. I don't remember the saying now. King Harry something. Gosh. Anyway, some people memorize that from like I never learned it till I was teaching. They learned it from like junior high or something. Metric, let me look, metric, king. What is that called when you do the oh, I don't remember. Oh, King Henry. It's called a mnemonic, right? King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. So I'm going to write that down for you. So King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. Okay, and why do I care about this? Because watch, King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. These are our prefixes on all metric. All metric is going up by 10 each time, with the middle being where the main measure is. So on this chart, it's metric, it's all metric, meters in the middle. And as you go up, there are a lot more meters, right? So like a kilometer is 1,000 meters. A hectometer is 800 meters. And a decameter is 10 meters. And then as you go down, they get smaller. So a decimeter is a tenth, 0.1, a tenth of a meter. A centimeter is a hundredth of a meter. See, it's in the hundredth. And you could divide by 100 too. Millimeter is a thousandths of a meter. And it works that way whether you have a meter, a liter, now I'm forgetting any of the other ones. I think they have them on the other, it's okay. Liter measures, so meter is measuring line, like straight in a line, just like we would with a ruler or a mile, like we're running, right? That's what a meter is going to measure. A meter is very similar to a yard in our system, okay? And that's the first thing we're going to look at. So we can look at this as, how does your book show it? Your book shows it as if you move up a base, like if you're going upward from one to the other, you're going to divide by 10. If you're going down a unit, you're going to times by 10. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You can also use this information and just use our chart. So I'll kind of show two ways. So let's look at this first one. If I it doesn't have a number next to it. I don't know, just label it 1. So convert 504.7 meters to kilometers, right? So right now, here's my meter. Kilometer is all the way up here. So there are 1,000 meters in that. So what we could do is just say, okay, well, I have 504.7 meters. And I want to times that by, I want to get kilo here, and I want to get meters to cancel. And right now you can say there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And I really should label this km, right? Because that's what it says here. Okay, so then from here you can see you divide by 1,000, which is going to move your decimal 3 places to become 0.5047. Okay, and that's going to be left with kms because the meters cancel. So can you still use that method? Yes, but metric is intense, in tens, not intense, but in tens, base 10. So it's super easy just to move your decimal or times or divide by so many tens. So let's look at this. We know if we are at a meter, we need to get to kilometers. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 upward, which means I'm going to divide by 10 3 times, and then divide by 10 3 times, or move the decimal 3 places, and there I am. Because this is a really, I mean, a meter is a very small amount on a kilometer, right? Because there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. All right, so let's look at, I say all right all the time. Now you're going to count my all rights. How many all rights did Miss McKenzie say in her one lecture? So convert 27 meters to centimeters. So I'm at 27 meters, and so I'm at a meter, and I want to get to a centimeter. So how many downs am I going to go? 1, 2 down, right? 1, 2 down. And down is timesing by 10 because you're got less of those or more of those when they go smaller, right? So I can do it still. I can do 27 meters and times that by centimeters and a meter. There are 100 centimeters, right? 100 centimeters in 1 meter, right? So it's 100th or 100 to 1. This is also 100th. So somehow you have to think there's 100 centimeters in each meter. Okay. So then from here, I'm going to times that, cancel our meters, and I get 2,700 meters or centimeters, excuse me. So the other way I could have done it, which is the way that I automatically think of, is, oh, 2 places down. So take my number and times it by 10 twice. Times it by 10, times it by 10, or move the decimal 2 places to the right. Okay, that's another way to get there. Do I care which way? No. Okay, convert 704 millimeters to hectometers. So this time it's not starting with just a straight meter. We're going to be at mm and we're going to go up to hm, right? So we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 moves upward is dividing by 10 5 times, or move that decimal 5 places. If I move the decimal 5 places, it starts here, right? So I'll write it out here. 7, this is where the decimal is right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have 2 zeros there. So 0.00704. That's probably the easiest way when you go away from the meter. The main thing is just divide or times, which moves the decimal by tens, right? Convert 9.71. So I have 9.71 dams. All right, where's our dam? I have a dam right here, and I want to go to dm. So down 2, right? And if I'm going down, I times by 10 twice. So when I times by 10 twice, I'm moving that decimal to the right twice. So the decimal is going to move here, and I get 971 dms, decimeters. So it's important to know how these prefixes go down so that you can know which one's which. That's why the King Henry died drinking chocolate milk will help you be able to know kilo, hecto, deca, deci, centi, like a centimeter, and milli. All right. Okay. Then what if I want to convert? I think this is, yeah, okay, perfect. I was trying to remember where 9.2 started. What if I want to convert between the two? Just some basic things. What if I am holding a ruler and it has centimeters and inches, and I want to convert between the two because, or it doesn't have the right one that I want, right? We can know that there's about, it's not exact, 2.54 centimeters in an inch. So those are somewhat similar. Feet to centimeters, not that common to see. We more likely see the other way around. Okay, so we don't see this conversion very often, right? The foot to centimeter, but just in case we need that one. And a yard to a meter, we do see that one because a yard and a meter are really similar. A meter's 0.9 of a yard. You have a meter stick or a yardstick. They're super similar, right? And then 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers, which you can see on your, a lot of times when you're driving, right? Kilometers per hour, miles per hour. All right, so those are similar as well. All right, what if we're converting 125 miles to kilometers. I don't know, we'll call this problem 1 again. I don't like it not being labeled. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is 125 miles, and you would like it to go to times that by kilometers, and we know there's 1.6 in 1 mile. Okay, we know there's 1.6 kilometers in 1 mile, so same idea, the miles will cancel, and we'll be timesing those together. I got my cheat sheet with the answer, so I have to get out my calculator 'cause 200 even kilometers. Perfect. 1.6 times 125. Problem 2, what if I have 26,800 millimeters and I want to convert it to inches? Well, I only have centimeters to inches. Can't I convert millimeters to centimeters? Sure, I can go to my chart. How many millimeters are there in a centimeter? So we can see millimeters are up 1, right? Go up 1. So I need to divide by 10. Okay, so I can go a couple ways. I can set it up as 26,800 times, I'm dividing by 10, or there's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, because it was the difference of just that 10 millimeters, because the millimeters was below, right? All right, we can convert that part, and then we could set up, all right, our goal is going to be inches and centimeters, and we know there's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. So we could set it up with all 3 again, like we did on that other problem. Or you could just move the decimal to 1 place and then do the second conversions of the inches and the centimeters. Kind of up to you. Hey, excuse me. And this was millimeters here. These cancel, centimeters cancel. Times, 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 I get 26,800. 2.54 times 10 is 225.4. This is ending in inches, and I'm just going to divide that and get the decimal. I get 1,055.12 inches. Hopefully that's right. That's what my notes say. I don't want to get out my calculator. All right. What if I convert 8 inches to centimeters? So I have 8 inches and I want to convert those to centimeters. Well, our goal is centimeters, right? Over inches here. And there's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch, which you might have been able to think of that as times, but either way, set it up and you can see the times across. These cancel, and I would get 20.32 centimeters. All right. Here's a couple application problems. The speed limit on many highways in the United States is 55 miles per hour. How many kilometers per hour is this? So we want to convert our miles per hour to kilometers per hour. So let's think about what miles per hour means. It means you've gone 55 miles in 1 hour. 55 miles in 1 hour. Okay. So then from here, I can convert those miles. I want the hour to stay, but I can convert the miles to kilometers. And so I want the bottom to have miles. And I know there's 1.6 kilometers in 1 mile. So when I do this, I can see the 55, these are going to cancel, miles are going to go. 55 times 1.6 is going to give me 88. And on the top, I have the kilometers. And then on the bottom, I still have 1 times 1, and I still have the word hour, 1 hour. So we can say this 88 kilometers per hour because it's per 1 hour. Anything after the word per is in the denominator, and there's one of them, per hour. Okay. All right. If a high-speed train in Japan is capable of traveling 200 kilometers per hour, how many miles per hour did it go? Well, shoot, if I times the other one, probably going to divide this one. So we have 200 kilometers. And again, per 1 hour. And then I'm going to times that by, I would like kilometers to stay here and miles to be our goal. And there's 1 mile and 1.6 kilometers. And then we go ahead and times across. These are the only ones that cancel. And then I get 200 divided by 1.6 for the numbers, and this is hour, and this is kilometers. So I'm at 1.6. I want that to be a 1, so I'm going to divide those together. So 200 divided by 1.6 is 125. So I get 125 kilometers per 1 hour. All right, that's about it for this section. Still, the next two sections will be conversions as well.